This is Just a Little Hammering, and this is our favorite movies of 2018. I'm Jackson.
I'm
This
Logan.
is Henry.
Nope.
This is Logan. Let's start.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're each going to go over our number 5 and talk about why we put it at number 5, then 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. Yeah, alright.
Okay.
So let's start off. What did you guys have as number 5?
Does anyone want to start in particular?
You can start.
Okay, I'll go. I put Ant-Man and the Wasp as number 5. I'm sure you guys are going to disagree and say it wasn't that high. The reason I said it was number 5 is it wasn't like anything spectacular, but it was definitely one of my most anticipated movies, and I feel like it really assisted in the whole movie set it was in. So that's why I put it in number 5.
My number 5 is A Quiet Place, and I'm sure you guys probably have it higher, but I think it's a great movie, but I just have ones I like better.
My number 5 was Deadpool 2 because I felt it did right on the Deadpool sequel. And although I wasn't happy with what they did when they made the new version that was like supposed to be like child friendlier, that's why it's lower because they kind of screwed that up. But I felt they did right on the sequel and they didn't make any big mistakes that other sequels tend to do.
Deadpool 2 is the one, would be number 6, I would say. I didn't have room for it, so it's not on my list, but
Well,
I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp deserves to be on the list, though.
I enjoyed it. It was just well, I guess we should just go right into number 4. Number 4, I put Deadpool 2. I found it like a genuinely good movie, and there wasn't like any errors with it, and I found it funny, so I enjoyed it.
Are you talking about Ant-Man?
No, Deadpool 2.
Oh.
That's why I put it at number 4.
Okay. My number 4 was Mission Impossible Fallout because I felt like it did right. It was a good conclusion. I felt like Henry Cavill's character in that did a very good job of his character development. I felt was really done well in that. That's why I put it at number 4.
My number 4 is Hereditary, and I didn't see it in theaters, but I just watched it the other day, and it's terrifying, but in a good way. I think it's very memorable, and I think it's the best horror movie I've ever seen. I mean, I would have said A Quiet Place was, but then I saw Hereditary last week, and definitely beat it out by a little bit. But I don't know, you guys haven't seen it yet, right?
No.
Definitely see it if you haven't seen it. It's really good. I was trying to fall asleep when I was watching it because I didn't want to watch it anymore. But it was too good. I couldn't stop watching it, so I had to keep going. And it's just, oh my god, I just can't even describe it.
Is it scary?
Yeah, it is. And it's not
Okay.
like the traditional horror movie where it's like jump scares and just anticipation jump scares like that. It's just like scary imagery and just everything in the movie is just creepy and terrifying.
Okay.
I like it really.
I'll start off with number 3, which for me is Avengers Infinity War. It was done well. I feel like the Russo brothers did a good job. It felt a little too ambitious, and the reason it's not number 1 is because they forced us to go see a second part. But I mean, that's a minor thing. They did a good job with bringing everybody in, which it's a tough thing to do. But I feel like the thing that made it number 3 as opposed to number 2 or number 1 is that they made it go on too long and forced us to go see a second movie later on.
With that much character display and they kind of had to make it that long.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't want to go sit through a 6-hour movie.
I applaud them for doing that well. But I mean, there's people who can do better.
Alright, well, let's agree to disagree. My number 3 was A Quiet Place, and from what Henry sounds like he doesn't think it belongs up there, but I felt it was a really good, just a good movie, and the acting and the casting all was so perfect for the movie, and it was I was genuinely scared while watching.
I like A Quiet Place. I just everything good about A Quiet Place. I think Hereditary does better. The main cast in Hereditary. I think the main actress in there, she is.
What's her name?
I don't know, but she is so good. she'll make you think she's genuinely insane. And she's not, but everyone else thinks she is, and you can see why, because her acting is just so good.
Right.
I think A Quiet Place is still really solid.
So what you're saying is, if we've seen Hereditary, Quiet Place wouldn't be on our list?
Oh,
or
it's still
it
on
would...
my list, but I feel like Hereditary. Well, I don't know. For me, it's higher,
Okay.
but it might be for you guys. I don't know. My number 3 is Mission Impossible Fallout. I think it's just captivating. I just love it. I haven't seen all of the Mission Impossible movies, but like the 4th and 5th one, I think all the action scenes are just so good, and this one just brings everything up.
Once they got the formula, it took like the 1 or 2, and then they just started getting better and better at getting the suspense and the thrill of it. And I think they've perfected the formula to such a degree that they know what kind of movie they're gonna make before they're even gonna make it.
It's just nonstop action the whole time. Like you've got them jumping out of a plane,
Right.
then they're fighting in the bathroom, and then they're on a freaking motorcycle chase and everything.
It felt really quick.
It's just awesome. I thought this one was way cooler. The end was so tense, and I loved it. Where they're trying to defuse all the bombs, and then he was in a helicopter chasing another helicopter. And like you said, Henry Cavill was a great villain, way better than he is as a hero, in my opinion. But I think he worked really well. And like that bathroom fight scene, I think that was one of the best scenes in the movie, and one of the best scenes of last year, for sure. So it was really good.
Okay.
Any more add-ons for 3, or moving right in? Alright, I guess I'll start 2. I had Avengers Infinity War for 2. I just felt like they did such a great job with all the casting and dealing with all the characters and being able to like merge such a big storyline together and do it so like efficient and like without error. If the only thing that I can complain about is, like I said in previous videos, I'm kind of getting tired of the huge like big team fight scenes, but like I still
It's
enjoy
Avengers
it.
Infinity
Right.
War, that's what
I still
it's-
enjoy it. And I'll just hold off until
It's really nice to see
Say
all.
why
It's
it's
really
not
nice to see all the characters come together like that.
Right.
That's the whole point of the movie.
But like, it's never been done to such a scale. Like there's memes out there, but they are right. I mean, there's never been such a big, like, culmination crossover. I guess.
The most ambitious crossover event.
Basically.
Infinity War is also my number 2. The first time I saw it in theaters, once again, it was just captivating. Everything happening, you just jaw dropping the entire time. Like you can't believe finally this is happening. And the ending, the first time you see it, I think is a lot more emotional than like every other time you see it. Because I've seen it like 4 times now, and
Right.
now I'll watch it and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what happens already, and I know that it's not going to stay like that. But when I saw it the first time, I still knew it was going to all get undone, but it was still like, it just seemed crazy that they would do that. Because it was the last thing everyone was expecting.
Right. Like, I totally... Alright, so if we hadn't known beforehand that they were going to cut it into 2 movies, you wouldn't have thought you'd have seen the snap, like, at all. And I feel like that turn of events, the first time I watched it really, like, set it away. And I just enjoyed that movie so much.
I have one problem, and it's with like the whole Thor storyline. I didn't really
You felt
like
that tangent wasn't
No.
necessary.
No, it was obviously necessary.
Yeah, it was definitely...
But it was,
They could have done it better.
they didn't have enough happening in it. It just
Nothing
seemed
gained,
like
nothing lost.
he didn't really have anything to lose by going there.
Right.
And if they gave him something that he would have lost, like if somebody would have died to help him, then it would have been more important to the whole story,
Right.
and it would have made you connect more with it than how it actually was.
And I think there wouldn't have been too much consequence killing someone off there. Like, who was with him? Rocket, Groot, and the
Mr.
dwarf,
Eitri again.
Eitri. If they died beforehand,
Just kill
let's say-
Eitri. If he's probably not going to come back again.
Even if they were coming back, I feel like they still could have done it because of like who died? Gamora. You know Gamora's gonna come back, right? For Guardians 3. So I'm saying like they could have totally just killed off Rocket or Groot.
Well, they could
Groot.
have had somebody else go with them too.
I think Eitri would have been he introduced them. There was history between them, and one-off character. It would have been okay if they had done that.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to do anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Might as well make him do something before the movie's over.
Well,
yeah, I'd agree. That's
my number 2 was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I felt like it was a great endeavor into the animation, it was a great endeavor into cartoon superheroes there's some serious cartoons, but this did a good job, and I felt like it had a great color scheme, great story arc for every character, just about, I'd say, and that's why I put it at number 2. Just a solid movie overall. Really recommend going to see that.
Well, my number 1, and I'm sure Logan's number
Yeah.
1, is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We already talked about it, but
How could this not be
it's just,
number
I
one?
think
It's
it's
such
just
a good
so
movie.
good. Definitely my favorite animated movie that I've probably ever seen, and it's going to take a lot to change that.
Mhm.
I'm surprised if you would have told me that I would have thought Spider-Man was better than Infinity War before I saw Spider-Man, I would
told
never
you
believe
crazy.
anybody. But I think it does.
There was so much hype around Infinity War, and then there wasn't as much right here that when you go see this, it's such a pleasant surprise.
Well, I knew that Infinity War was going to be good. I think everybody did.
Mhm.
There's no way they could put all your favorite people on the screen at once and then mess it up. Like that's
And just
impossible.
knowing who's like.
Whoa,
creating-
whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa, whoa. Don't go there, because somebody's done that. Hint, hint, JL. Justice League, they screwed that up.
Yeah, we
Because those
said
are
love.
no one's favorite characters.
Yeah, we said favorite characters. Anyways, I just feel like Marvel, they're just heading in such a great direction. Everything they've pushed out in the last, I don't know, 6 years has been like really good. And I feel like they're going to continue with that pattern. Even like the Sony branch, they've been doing pretty decent as well.
Yeah, Venom
And-
was a good.
No.
I
I like
wasn't
Venom.
going there, but Venom's pretty decent.
Venom.
I was talking about Into the Spider-Verse. Like, it was... I think that's the best movie I've seen in a long time. Like, it was so good. There wasn't a single flaw with it.
Well, before we go further,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Number 1 was A Quiet Place. Just great. I mean, it set a standard that other things have met with Bird Box coming out, and people it kind of followed the same formula. But I feel like John Krasinski did a great job portraying everybody, and I felt that it was. If they do another one, I would happily go see it, just because
How would they
it's such
follow
a,
that up, though?
They said that they were going to do possibly a worldview of it, and no longer just a single family incident, but they were going to show it'd be kind of a prequel that they said that they might do, which is show it in happening where these things come down.
Could be.
I don't know. I feel like that might be.
It wouldn't have the same kind of movie, but I just feel like the concept was so interesting.
But
And
I
they
think
did
that's
such a
why
good
it
job.
was so good. Is that it was one family, and it was just
Right.
you know how close they are and everything that's going on in the one family.
It makes it feel more, real, I feel like.
Because
Because,
if it was just like a whole
right, the world.
alien coming down thing, it's just like every other story. I mean,
Mhm.
the concept's so cool, but I feel like that would kind of ruin it.
I
Because you
agree
wouldn't be able
with
to
you.
do as much.
I just really liked what he did with it. I feel like the sounds he used just were perfect. It is A Quiet Place, but I feel like it was so immersive. And just
it's just crazy they could go that long without even having any dialogue in the
I
movie.
know. Well, there was a couple,
What they did
Like,
say
yells
meant
for
Not
something.
very long. For
Oh,
the beginning,
right.
there was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you really felt for, I don't know, okay, what's his name in the movie, John?
I don't even know.
Okay, but you really felt when he sacrificed himself. That was like a heartfelt moment. And then the mother, you can understand her trauma that she's going through of trying to raise a child in this. It was just it hit so well.
All I'm saying is that movie did a good job, but last year there was movies that did better. I feel like there's no way you could put A Quiet Place above either Infinity War or Into the Spider-Verse. Doing it
It's just personal preference.
okay, I don't want to.
Both A Quiet Place and A Spider-Verse were single movies that did a good job of starting something. And even though Spider-Verse has a lot more it can go through, I still feel like both did a good job. Avengers Infinity War feels like an ending. And,
What? Huh? Wait.
How's it an ending?
How's it an ending?
okay, it's a transition.
Into the ending?
Okay, so there's Avengers Infinity
That's
War.
that's everything but the end.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Avengers Infinity War. Then there's the second one, right? Which is, I don't know what they're going to call it.
Endgame.
Endgame. And then And then after that, it's
Yeah.
gonna go to a whole new set of sub characters. It's like gonna be, it feels like there's gonna be something else happening, right? And that it's
That's
not an
fine.
ending, but it's a transition.
Was that bad?
No, but I'm just saying that Spider-Verse and Quiet Place are the first in their genre, like they're the first in their like
Right.
universes, and I feel like it's really nice to see them do this well in the very beginning.
I think the main problem with movies in 2018 was there's just so many. I feel like it's the first time there's just so many mediocre to bad movies. Like, I mean, Black Panther, that wasn't bad. It was just average.
yeah.
They were just you were expected to because it had the Marvel name on it. You expected
And
more.
then
of
there
it.
was like Venom, Jurassic World. Those were just not good.
They just missed the marker.
Disappointing.
They could have done so much better with those kind of movies, but they didn't. Like, just think of think of all the predecessors to Jurassic Park or
Oh, yeah.
Jurassic World. They could have done definitely better than.
I think it's just old now.
I know, but I'm still saying like,
They lost
could
the
have done better.
captivation
No
of
one's interested
dinosaurs.
anymore.
I liked Venom though. That was a great movie for me.
They totally missed the marker, dude. I know they were trying to do like the good cop, bad cop thing, but like they could have done it way
I don't
better.
know. You guys haven't seen it. I watched Upgrade yesterday,
Mhm.
which came out before Venom.
Right.
And I think it's so similar to Venom, but it's so much better because instead of it being like an alien, it's like a robot in his body, and he got like paralyzed and he's
And then
quadriplegic.
and now it's like it's fixing him up. And
yeah,
then,
and they have like inner monologue, but it's also the action scenes are really good. It's I don't really know how to describe it.
I wasn't happy with the ending because the way it switches
Venom
up.
or Upgrade?
No, Upgrade, where like it switches around and it turns out that the AI did
Oh,
all
the
this.
ending! I thought the ending was really good.
I didn't like that. That was such a twist
I've
on
never
it
seen
that
the
I was
movie.
not.
It was a good twist because I mean, most of the time it's just happy ending, like
Yeah.
they get away and they stop the bad guy. But I guess it kind of was a happy ending, but not in the way you'd expect.
He's just living his inner dream
Yeah,
now,
he's
and
living inside his mind with his wife.
and well, I don't know what the AI's name, but yeah, he does. AI does. Yeah, STEM does whatever it wants to.
And then what other bad movies were there this year? Bumblebee.
Yeah, that movie was so terrible. That's just another movie that missed the marker.
It didn't sink its teeth into one of the things. It could have been just it could have been its own movie, or it could have been a Transformers movie. And when you try to go down the middle, you get hit by a tree. It's like you gotta go one side or the other side. You can't go. You can't. It tried to bridge the gap between the two.
It can't stray away from the Transformers like
That's what it
franchise
did,
though.
and that's why it didn't do as well.
Well, I
as people
I feel
want.
like none of the Transformers movies are good. I don't know why I was expecting this one to be different because it
It was
bad.
so hyped up too. That's my only problem with Bumblebee. It was so hyped up
I don't
and
know
it
why
was
everyone was
terrible.
hyping it up. It was not good at all.
96% on Rotten
It was
Tomatoes.
bad.
There's no way it deserved above 60.
That was the first time I think I've ever been to the movies, and I thought, I want my money back. That was a
Yeah,
bad movie.
it was bad. Casting, terrible movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that concludes what we wanted to say here. If you guys have anything else to say,
All I'm saying is, we all have our own opinions, and I'm
Jax
sure
is wrong.
everyone else will
Oh,
too.
yeah.
But if anyone wants to let us know their favorites, or if there's anything we didn't mention that you think is better, then let us know.
Or movies you feel like we portrayed wrong and should have been on this list when we were like dogging on it. I guess you could say something.
anyways, we're really excited for some movies that are going to come out this year, 2019. We already seen a couple, as we just came back from one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Talk about that soon.
I'm Jackson,
I'm Logan.
I'm Henry.
and this was Just a Little Hammering.